Welcome students. This is a video that will go over our next worksheet, which is the distance formula. I think I already have it on my online. And anyway, it's important, please show your calculations on all answers. So number one says find the length of the line between point 1 and point 2. So what the distance formula is used for, it simply calculates how far 2 points are apart from each other on the coordinate plane. So when you think about what we did last time with a triangle, if we know 2 legs of a triangle, we can take one leg if we know the distance of that leg, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then this side is 1, 2, 3. That tells us that we can take 3 squared plus 14 squared as our legs, right? 14 and 3, and we can square those two together and end up finding the hypotenuse right here. So the basic idea is this, is that if we take the two x values for the points, here I have x2 is at 3, point 1 is at 0. If I take 3 minus 0, that gives me a 3 for this distance. And then if I look at my y's, I have 19 and I have 5, so 9 minus 5 gives me 14. You can see that I have 2 legs to the triangle. Okay, so I can take 14 squared plus 3 squared, and I want this done just a little bit different way. Let me go over that here right now. So we'll have 14 squared, 196, and then we know that 3 squared is 9, and when I add those two together I get 205. And now when I take the square root of that number, right, so you take the x from the second point, subtract the x from the first point, and you end up getting a distance. You square that distance, and you do the same thing with the y's, the y from the second point, subtract the y from the first point, and you end up getting a distance, so you square those two. And I end up getting, I want to get to square root of 205. And let's see what I get. At 205, I take the square root of it. And I'm going to write that out to 3 decimal places. So 14317. So 14.317. Okay. Now, on this first one, I've kind of drawn out the triangle, I've plotted the points, and we really don't want to have to graph every problem or situation that we have. So this is how we're going to do it, and it'll make this worksheet a lot easier. So let's go over here to problem number 2. You can see right here, x1 is 16, x2 is 17, so I take 17, subtract 16, I get 1, so one of those legs are going to be a 1. And then if I take x or y1 and y2 and I subtract them, so I'd have 24 minus 22, and that'll give me a 2. So I'm going to take 2 squared plus 1 squared, so I will have 4 plus 1 equals 5. And then when I take the square root of 5 in my calculator, let's see, the square root of 5, and again I'm going to take that out to 3 decimal places, so 2.236. 2.236. Now, when you enter your answers into School City, let me show you this. Let me zoom out just a little bit here. This is how the answers have to look. Now, you could either have 196 plus 9 equals 205, but you see how I have to round this off to 2 decimal places? So if that third number is 5 or bigger, this will go up 1. If it's less than 5, it would stay a 1. So 14.31, I would round to 14.32. Okay? And it doesn't matter which one of these goes first. What is important is that everything else is the same. There's no space between any of these. There's an equal sign there. You have to have that colon. There's a space, and then L equals 14.32. Okay, does that make sense? Same way down here. It doesn't matter if the 4 comes first, the 1 comes first, but it has to be written just like that, or you're going to be marked wrong. So just be careful about entering your answers. So let's take a look at problem number 2. I have 2.236. I have the 4 plus 1 equals 5. And then my L, rounding this off, this is 5 or bigger, so that would become a 4. So 2.24. So those would be your answers. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoy this video, and